almost shared.
We are live. No, it's fine. Go ahead.
I almost shared a news story with you on Facebook yesterday. Maybe you heard it already.
I hope it's the one I think you're going to say.
The one about Dollar Mendy?
No, it's not. Tell me.
He's going to jail for human trafficking.
No!
For 2 years.
Why?
For human trafficking.
Well, yes, but why did he do that? God damn it. My idol. What the hell? There's a Pokemon Go story that a lot of people have been sending me that I posted about last night. I thought that's what you were going to say.
I might have seen that one.
Yeah, Brian got in touch with me today. He's like, did you see this crazy story? I was like, yes, I did. I was talking about it. All right. We got some interesting stuff to talk about today. All right, this is good. That's good. Okay, let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo podcast, Webisode 657, the Frogadier podcast. Frogadier, yep. Did I do that? See, now every time I'm paranoid that I'm not picking the right number. I'm pretty sure it's the right number. 657. All right. Frogadier is a water-type Pokemon introduced in Generation 6. It evolves from Froakie, blah, 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 blah. Frogadier is a dark blue bipedal frog-like Pokemon with a light blue underside. Its eyes have yellow sclera and has a white bubble scarf. It has dark blue hands and toes and white circular fingers.
What's a bubble scarf?
The hot new fashion trend of 2018. Frogadier is a nimble and swift Pokemon. It can scale a tower exceeding 2,000 feet in 1 minute. And it can throw bubble-coated pebbles at targets up to 100 feet away. It can confound opponents by leaping about ceilings or into trees. That's enough for me. It's number 657. It's 87.5% male, 12.5% female, and it is 2 feet tall and 24 pounds. There you go. That's Frogadier.
All right.
Oh, crap. I was going to show you what it looked like so you could see the bubble scarf. What is going on here?
Is it just a scarf?
It looks like...
That's literally made of bubbles?
Yeah, but it looks more like it's made of clouds.
Oh. That would be a cloud scarf.
Hello, Rachel and the Aloe Wolf and Roth Sothy and Stakona and It's a Trap and the Name King Clown and Morisaki and Combo versus the World and Lila Troid and Mega Travis and Giant Reggie and Dre Gamer and Boy Meets Nintendo and ZX Billy. And Mark D. Payne. Oh my God, it is. It's St. Patrick's Day. I'm just realizing this right now.
Yeah, I kept forgetting this week.
I mean, I never do anything for it, but could have had Shamrock Shakes, I guess. Oh, well. Yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
So, I have some interesting things to talk about this week. Because a couple of you emailed me with things you wanted me to bring up on the podcast because they are specifically related to discussions we've had on the podcast. So I'm going to do that. And there's something else I got to talk about. Hold on. For the next 2 weeks, Go Nintendo in general is sponsored by Castle of Heart, an exclusive Switch game coming out from 7 Levels. They didn't ask me to do anything special for the podcast, but I told them I would. So 7 Levels, I think, comes out this coming week on the Switch, and only on the Switch. It's a Switch exclusive. It's kind of like Castlevania, like Symphony of Night style Castlevania. So a Metroidvania. And imagine if Dark Souls was a side scroller. That's what the graphics look like anyway. It's not the same type of gameplay, but yeah, it's you can check out the trailer. Obviously there's links all over Go Nintendo for it, so you can click on those and see trailers and stuff. But yes, that's an exclusive for the Switch, and they are our sponsor for the next couple of weeks, so thank you to them for the sponsorship. Hello, Agent Iron, Cat and Drake Gamer, and somebody's. Hello, Santiago. I guess somebody knows other people's real names. I'm not going to say them because somebody's saying hi to 2 other people, but I don't see those names. All right. So like I was saying, people sent me things.
Somebody getting doxxed?
They're just first names. Okay. So they're safe. Yes, we had people send in some things this week because they're like, you got to talk about this on the podcast. So I will. First one is from Armored Frog, who has been a GoNintendo reader for a bazillion years. And he tweeted this to me. It's from he retweeted it to me. It's from a Twitter account talking about food stuff. It says, are you unsatisfied with current debates regarding what is or is not a sandwich? So obviously this pertains to the podcast. Yes, always. You should try using the cube rule for identifying what you're eating. Examples. Pizza is a toast. Lasagna is a multi-decker sandwich. Pie is a calzone, and pie served as a slice is a taco. We have
These all sound wrong.
We have the infographic for you to see to make sense of it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to tweet this out with the podcast later on today, and you can see how the shapes of the food you're eating describe what it is, because it's the cube rule of food.
So what is a Pop-Tart, according to this chart?
I mean,
would that be a count?
So the chart for sandwich number 2 on the cube rule of food has like the bottom of the cube and the top of the cube, and in between it's empty space, but it's got lines drawn showing to you that there's empty space. So
okay.
I guess it would be a sandwich, right? Because it doesn't. Unless it's saying that the space is like the empty space of the cube is specifically what makes it a sandwich. So like the height of it.
Okay.
Yeah, that has to be it. Because so I guess a Pop-Tart would be toast, because a Pop-Tart is one whole thing.
Technically, yeah, I guess that's.
Yeah, it's like made at the factory as one whole thing, and a sandwich here are 2 pieces like separated by a whole bunch of stuff, but you caused the separation. Just look up the cube rule of food, and you should get the infographic that we're looking at. Yeah, I mean, I guess there's some debate between toast and sandwich, but
Oh yeah, I'm sure this thing is going to clear up all the arguments that people have been having.
It is important to our podcast because it's one of our most popular discussions. So you'll have to look at that and tell me what you think. I don't know why we bother
talking about video games.
We should only talk about sandwiches all the time.
This should just be like a sandwich debate podcast.
To go week 657 of the sandwich debate. The Name King Clown says a Pop-Tart is a tart. There you go. It's answered. Wouldn't a Pop-Tart be a rectangle? Says it's a trap. Yes, it would be a rectangle, but we're using the cube rule of food. You're just picturing a cube. It's not saying it has to be cube shaped.
Yeah, it's not.
When you're having trouble deciding what is or isn't a sandwich, you use the cube rule of food to figure it out. So I don't know. I still think there's some discussion for Pop-Tart. That's a tough one. But thank you to Armored Frog for sending that our way. And then we have I don't think there's going to be a lot of debate about this one, but I could be wrong. Timothy Honeycutt, another longtime GoNintendo reader, has sent us something that ProZD was talking about on Twitter. If you don't know ProZD, you might have seen his videos and not even known it. He is often on the trending page on YouTube. He's the Asian guy with the awesome, like, deep voice, and he does a lot of videos that are funny about like anime and video games.
And they're always like really short.
Yes, that's him. ProZD.
I thought his name was Prozd.
Well, here it's capital PRO, capital ZD. That's how he writes it. So I'm guessing it's ProZD. Okay. He tweeted this out, and Timothy thought we should discuss it on a podcast, and I agree. He says, I just had a very heated argument about this, so I need input. When you eat flavored potato chips, does it matter if you put the side with more flavor powder face down in your mouth so it touches your tongue? I say it does.
Does it? Wait, when they ask, does it matter? Do they mean
like to you? Because to me, it matters.
Well, I've noticed that when I eat like Cheez-Its, without even really thinking too much about it, I'll put like the top, the top side that has like the salt on
Yes.
it. That'll be the first thing to touch my tongue.
It's funny you say that because last night I was eating Cheez-Its.
Okay.
And I was thinking that exact same thing. I do the same stuff with chips, but yeah, like if it's a chip or a Cheez-It, I put.
But with chips, don't they usually have like the same amount of when it's flavored potato chips?
Well, yes, but like if I'm looking at the chip, if I see one side is like extra flavored powdering, that's the side I put tongue down. So to both of us, yes, it matters then.
I guess so.
So he has this survey that's going on. Oh, it's over. Survey's over. He had 27,000 votes on it. 38% of people said no, it does not matter, and 62% said yes, it does matter. So we're with the majority here. I want to taste the best flavor it has to offer as soon as I put it in my mouth.
Yeah, I've seen some people argue about like where you put the cheese on a cheeseburger. Some people think it should be like below the patty, so that it like touches your tongue first. It's which I never even really thought about. When
you're eating a burger, because I don't really eat burgers, like everything just gets mashed together anyway, right?
Kind of. I don't know.
Do you think? Well, you're a burger eater. Do you think it would make a difference?
It might. I've never tried it, but I don't know. It's not that big a deal. It's not as big a deal
as flavor on chips.
As Cheez-Its or potato chips.
Well, let's get this straight. Cheez-Its are a very big deal.
Cheez-Its are serious business.
The Aloe Wolf says, for some strange reason, this podcast always makes me hungry. Now there's a debate about pizza and chips going on in the chat.
Oh boy.
I'm looking what people are saying. Hello, Axel. Axel says, thought it was just me. My girlfriend makes fun of me. I guess he's talking about how it matters to him. Hello, Cody. Cody says, it's a huge deal. Yes, it is a huge deal. You're right. So, yeah, you guys discussed that. But I think pretty much if Nikki Hill were here, I'm sure he'd be like very offended by one side of the answer. I don't know which one, but I think pretty much everybody on the podcast is going to have the same opinion of, yeah, we put it flavor side down towards the tongue. That's the way God intended. So thank you to Armored Frog and Timothy for sending those things in, because I love discussing that stupid stuff. It's going to be hard to find something that will last as long as our sandwich debate, because we still don't have a final answer on that. The only other one that came...
We're never going to have a final answer.
The only other one that came kind of close was which pizza would you eat first, yes. Which still is open to discussion. So thank you for your stupid emails, because I love that stuff. I mean stupid in a good way.
Thank you for your stupid emails.
Well, I mean, like, this whole show is stupid discussion, so thank you for sending that stuff our way, because I love discussing that stuff. Mark says this discussion has evolved from putting to putting Pop-Tarts on pizza. Oh no! Was anyone saying that for real? Putting Pop-Tarts on pizza? I can't think of any Pop-Tart flavor I would ever want on a pizza.
Ugh.
Ever. And there's like,
what if you had to?
Now this is a question.
Like maybe
someone was forcing you to put
cinnamon sugar.
What's that one? Are we just talking about plain cheese pizza?
I would hope so.
God damn it.
Yeah, they're all pretty bad.
Yeah. Hear me out. Maybe Orange Crush Pop-Tarts, because it's a soda? I drink soda with pizza.
You're reaching, man.
Come on, it's better than like blueberry or cherry or something.
But aren't those Orange Crush ones like,
they're very sweet.
Terrible, like,
oh, they're bad
even without the pizza.
yes, they are bad. Now people are discussing putting butter on Pop-Tarts. God, yeah, I can't think of anything that would go on. Well,
I mean, if it's toast, then
yeah, right.
Then you can butter it.
If a Pop-Tart's classified as toast, then you put butter on it. Rachel says maple Pop-Tarts might be okay. Maple Pop-Tarts on pizza.
Oh, maybe. Because, like, maybe the maple would remind you of maple smoked bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't. Yeah, I need a full list of. Hello, sir. I need a full list of Pop-Tart flavors before I can make my decision. Man, now I want to do that. Alan Wolf says, "I do love Pop-Tarts, but there's a limit."
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's true. Hello, fungus. We have cherry Pop-Tarts upstairs, but I would not put them on a pizza. Well, I do have a frozen pizza. I wouldn't put them on a pizza, but maybe to settle this debate, I would like take a slice of pizza and put like a piece of a Pop-Tart on it and just taste it that way because I don't want to ruin a whole pizza. Hello, Justin. Oh, Justin says, isn't a Hot Pocket just a savory Pop-Tart? Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about Hot Pockets.
You know what sucks, in my opinion? Toaster strudel. I think they taste real gross. I've tried them a whole bunch of times. Can't get into them.
I used to like them, but
hello, Game Boy.
I would eat them when I was in
Steel Diver.
When I was in grade school, but the filling would never like cook properly. It would always be cold. It would either be it would either be really cold or it would be the whole thing would be completely burnt.
Yep. That's exactly the way I've experienced them.
Yeah, and if it was like burnt, I would just eat the icing.
Steel Diver says they do Pop-Tart breakfast sandwiches at Disney World. 2 Pop-Tarts with eggs and bacon in between. Wow, is this true?
Is there
Steel Diver?
Can we get an image?
Hello, Exile. I can't. If that's true, I'm going to be amazed.
I mean, everything's been done at this point.
Steel Diver also says toaster strudel is for the kids whose mom makes them eat Kix. I liked Kix. My mom never made me eat them, but I like Kix.
Yeah.
They have a slight sweetness to them. There's a little sweetness to a Kix.
Yeah.
A kick?
Kid tested, mother approved.
All right. Since we're on the podcast, I have something podcast related to talk to you about. T27 Duck has put out the call on GoNintendo. For those that don't know, T27 Duck is the guy who basically built GoNintendo as a site. I am the content creator and poster and share, but he is the man who makes the site work. And he actually reverse engineered the site a billion years ago as like a proof of concept. Hello, Mario of 7 stars. And on top of that, he saved the day back when all the hard drives crashed and all that. So very important to the site. He put a post up about the podcast, and he's looking for a podcast curator. Now, I know some people have already replied to this post and gotten in touch with him, so that's great, but we could always use more help. So I'm going to read his post to you. He says, for a while now, the site has had a podcast archive page making every episode available. Each episode on the site includes some additional metadata, such as Pokemon name, who was on the episode, music score, etc. While a good amount of data is more or less automated and populated on the site automatically within a day that RMC publishes a new episode, some of that info is missing. This is where you come in. I think it would be great if the data on the site regarding the podcast can be the source of truth for information on each episode. To do that, I need a couple podcast fans to help curate the data. You'll get a custom rank and user color for the site. And he says, if you're interested, PM him. Just do a search on GoNintendo for curator and you will get the post. And if that's something you're interested in, let him know. Send him a PM. Mark D. Payne, I see your question. We will get to it, I promise. Hello, Elfman. So yeah, if you want to be a curator, like I said, a couple people have gotten in touch with him already, but we could definitely use more help if you want to do that. So, you do things like, here's how the podcast started out today. They talked about Pop-Tarts as sandwiches for 15 minutes. But yeah, don't feel like you have to, obviously, because you don't. Hello, Laxter. Laxter says, what happened to episode 37? Yeah, I know. The mystery episode that disappeared somehow. I think someone has it, to tell you the truth. It's out there somewhere, but you can get all the other episodes. Yeah, I didn't remove an episode or anything. Just I honestly don't remember what happened because it's episode 37. We're on 657, so it's been a while. But if that sounds like something that would be fun to you and you want some special flair for your GoNintendo user account, then you go ahead and do that. All right. The only other thing I got to say is there's a new Parents Play recorded. not edited. Depending on how today goes, I might be able to edit it tonight. I'm not sure, but don't worry, because the day after we recorded it, my dad sent me a text because he's learning how to text now. Hello, Weed Lover. And his text was, "Where's the parents' play?" And I was like, leave me alone. I'm working. Like, I'm doing other stuff. This week they played Pac-Man Championship Edition 2. Is that what it's called?
Oh.
2 plus, whatever it's called. I don't know. But I know some people. So if you haven't played Pac-Man Championship Edition or Championship Edition 2, man, they are a ton of fun. They're super high speed. The music is great because it's like way over the top, like heavy bass, like insane, like yeah, it's just nuts, like very fast tempo stuff. And it just makes it more fun, to tell you the truth. So you might hear that my parents did a parents play with Pac-Man and be like, that's going to be boring. I guarantee you it's not boring. I'm very excited to edit this one because it was pretty much laughing the entire time, and it is action-packed. So the new mode that's in the Switch version that I believe is Switch exclusive is 2-player at the same time. You're playing co-op, and both of you have to work together to clear the board. And the only way to get to the next level is after you eat a certain amount of pellets, or no, after you eat all the pellets. Each Pac-Man has a fruit bubble in front of their mouth that moves with them. So the only way to pop that fruit bubble is to match up with the other Pac-Man and like basically kiss each other, and it pops the bubbles and you eat the fruit, and that takes you to the next level. So my parents were forced to work together, and it was fantastic. I'm very excited to share that with you. I will, at the very least, try to get it to you by next weekend at the latest. I know there's an event coming up to cover this week and stuff like that, but yeah, it's a fun game. It's definitely a fun game. If you are thinking like old school Pac-Man, obviously it's still there, like get the pellets and the power pellets and eat the ghosts and stuff like that, but there's so many other twists and mechanics, and the maze designs and everything are completely different. It's a lot of fun, really. You should check it out. Hello, Turquoise Gold Scraper, if I didn't say hello to you already. All right, let's do some regular news. First things first, I'll mention very quickly that there was a firmware update for the Switch, which was leaked. I guess it was leaked by Nintendo's Switch Online mobile app, because that got an update. And in the patch notes for that, it said something about interactivity with version 5.0 of the Switch firmware, and that was before we knew it was coming. So kind of leaked out a little bit early, but it was out the next day on the Switch. So it came out, and it wasn't a big deal. Like there's nothing like too fancy in there. There's a fix for the playtime issue, and there's new icons for like ARMS characters, and I want to say Kirby. And nothing major by any means, but we did. Mark D. Payne, I see your question. I'll talk about it right now. Who do I think will return in Smash Brothers for Switch? Everybody that was in the Wii U version, minus Cloud. That's my answer. I'm stopping there. Okay. Kirby's going to be in it, definitely. Yes. Yeah, Elfman. I thought about that too. I want my parents to play Rive. I just might be too much for them, but that's why it would be funny. So yes, I almost did it this week, to tell you the truth. No, we are not covering. Now we should. So MASH, I'm going to cover it now because of you, Justin. Mashable had an article up discussing how people are saying you can see Luigi's dick in the art for Mario Tennis Aces. Not, see it without clothing. You can see his bulge through his shorts. So it's a whole big debate now. I did not post that on GoNintendo, but I did tweet it out to everybody, and I said this is enough internet for one day, and tweeted that story out. So it's been making the rounds. So if you, just do a Google search for Mashable Luigi's penis, and you'll get all the discussion you could want. So hello, the Zelda fan. All right, did the firmware thing. Now let's get to the first real story. An original Xbox co-creator, Ed Fries, or Freeze, however you say it, was talking about a whole bunch of things in the game industry, and he specifically talked about the Switch as well. And he shared his thoughts on the platform and had some interesting things to say. Mr. Fry says, when I first saw the Switch, I thought it was creative, but I wasn't sure if it was going to be successful. Some of the ideas we had actually talked about at Xbox, like having controllers you could separate and hold onto in each hand. I first played Zelda on the Wii U and enjoyed the game and thought, maybe I don't need a Switch. Eventually, I buckled and got a Switch to play Mario, and I was really surprised how many different and creative ways they use the controllers. How they can be joined onto different supports, or you can separate them and hand them to another player and turn them sideways. It's something that really won me over as a cool machine. I love how creative Nintendo is. Now they have this Nintendo Labo with the cardboard. When I saw that, I thought, good for you, Nintendo. I just love how they're always thinking outside the box. This cardboard thing ties into a whole maker movement, and it's great to have kids building something physical. I don't think the right thing for Microsoft or Sony to do is to imitate Nintendo or to try to be Nintendo. I don't think they'll succeed being Nintendo. I think they've got to figure out what it is that they will do well and continue to do that well. So he's saying, like, yeah, Nintendo is Nintendo. They're their own thing. They're their own, they do their own stuff. They don't follow trends. They try out new weird things, and they're not afraid to do that. And it works for Nintendo. And he doesn't think Sony and Microsoft should try to imitate that, which they have done multiple times in the past, like we've seen with motion controls and stuff like that. So are Microsoft and Sony going to be inspired by the Switch's success and implement something related to the Switch in their next piece of hardware? I don't know, but I would say it's definitely possible. But hopefully they go their own direction. Hello, TAW. First comment comes from Takara Kitsune. They say, despite how heated the console fan wars get, it's always nice to see how classy the companies and developers generally are to each other. I also agree with the sentiment that Sony and Microsoft need to be their own things. They've never really done well in their attempts to replicate what Nintendo finds with success. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, it goes on to talk about motion controls and stuff like that. So, yeah, Nintendo succeeds because they are not afraid to do whatever the hell idea they have. Obviously, they weigh pros and cons of ideas, but they'll go for stuff that other companies would never even think of doing. And then when it's successful, the other company's like, oh, let's try and do that with a little bit of our own spin. And more often than not, it doesn't work. Although, with the Move controllers, Sony's still using them to this day for PlayStation VR, so it was a worthwhile investment for them in that regard. But yeah, it's not like a lot of
Rumble.
Yes, Rumble has been around in every system since the N64. So that was a big one. Oh, so yeah, that was a worthwhile investment for Sony as far as VR goes. But it's not like there's many other games that use the PlayStation Move controllers, and I don't feel like the majority of the PlayStation fan base wants to use Move controllers for the games that they play. So nobody's like, why don't we have Move support for Uncharted or Horizon or crap like that? So, gotta play Horizon, man. I feel so bad that I haven't played it yet.
Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. I know it's real good. I just haven't had time for it.
I haven't played it in a long time.
Well, it's not true. I have had time for it, but I've been playing other stuff because A, I want to, and B, stuff for work. But I got like Life is Strange. I just bought the prequels, but you know they've been out for a while, and I want to play it. I don't know. I need more. I'm selling GoNintendo, so I can just play games. The ARMS producer is saying that he hopes the franchise continues one day. He didn't specifically say if there... What are you doing? What's this? He didn't specifically say if it would continue, and he didn't give any official confirmation that a sequel's in the works or anything like that. But he's hoping that is the case. He talked about this in an interview with Famitsu magazine. And he says that he's got ideas and stuff like that. And then we got full details on that interview, and he says there's lore for the game that, hello, Robert. There's lore for the game that hasn't been shared with the public, so they have things definitely that could play into a sequel. But we don't know if that's ever going to happen. And in the interview, he's like, you know, it hasn't even been a full year since ARMS has been out on the market. I know it's a million seller now, but he's like, you know, the first game's still like not old. So we're not at a point where we're ready to really think about doing a sequel. Mega Travis says, I hope there is a sequel. It's a really fun game. Yeah, I'd like to. I know a lot of people picked it up and kind of got burnt out on it quickly, but there's also a very dedicated group of people who are still playing it. So I don't know what the reception of a sequel would be. It'd have to do some things differently, and I'm thinking it would have to bring more content just in general overall to get people to be more interested. I just don't know what that content would be. Kendrick Lamario says, loved everything about ARMS, but the gameplay just didn't have the staying power for me. Shame, but I'm glad it was at least successful. Yeah, see, like, what do you add in for staying power? More layers to the fighting, or more stage types, like stuff like hazards in stages, or more multi-tiered stages? Or I don't know what you do. Do you make people's legs fly across the stage? The sequel could be called Legs.
That's what I was thinking.
Perfect. There you go, Nintendo. There's a free idea for you. North America. This week's digital downloads. What did North America get? We got Kirby Star Allies, which just came out yesterday. By making friends out of Kirby's foes, up to 3 players can drop in or out of the adventure at any time. And with new and expanded copy abilities, classic Kirby action is deeper than ever. Combine abilities with elements such as ice or fire to create new friend abilities. So now you can have the sword ability, and if you got somebody on your team that has fire, you can combine them to give yourself a fire sword.
Oh.
Attack on Titan 2 is coming out March 20th, based on the anime. Let's see what it says. Experience the immense anime story alongside Eren Yeager, and his companions as they fight to save humanity from the threat of the deadly human-devouring Titans. Try your hand at operating the omnidirectional mobility gear, maneuvering and flying through the sky to counter the Titans and feel the thrill of satisfaction of battling giant opponents. If you don't watch the anime, you
might be confused.
You might be.
Play this game.
Hello, Malik Halo. If you don't watch the anime, it's about these giant Titans that run around and kill people, and you gotta stop them.
Pretty much, yeah.
But they can only be killed. Well, see, I'm only a couple episodes into the 2nd season, so maybe this has changed since then. But the only way to kill them is to slice out like part of their neck, part of the back of their neck. So you can like slice off their hands and stuff, and they don't care. I mean, they care. It's not like it feels good, but they can keep going. If you want to kill them, you got to slice out a specific part of their neck, which is why you got to use that mobility gear to like fly around and zip through the air and climb up them and stuff like that. But chances are you're going to die. Splatoon 2, we don't need to talk about that there. It's a rundown of the Octo expansion, which doesn't come out for a while, but you can pre-order it right now. Oh my God. What is this? There's rewards on My Nintendo 3DS themes. There's the Mario's Mighty Mustache theme. Well, that's all it says. That's all I got for you. Okay. Also new this week, Aero Fighters 3 on the Switch, Bad Dudes on the Switch as of March 21st. So not there yet.
Are you a bad enough dude to get this theme?
Do you like bad enough games to be a bad dude? Bingo for the Switch is available, which is self-explanatory. Cluster Truck is on the Switch. Deep One's got a demo on Switch. No. Yes, it's just not out yet. It's coming out March 19th. Enchanting Mahjong Match is on Switch. Do you like Mahjong? Do you like
Enchanting
fan service? Then you'll like this game.
Okay.
From my understanding, it's got some sort of story in it, but it's got like scantily clad women and stuff like that too. So it's like a...
Wait, let me guess. There's like a naked lady underneath all the mahjong pieces.
No.
Okay.
It's like a PG-13 version of Honey Pop if Honey Pop was mahjong related. Okay. How about that? So not anywhere near as graphic as Honey Pop, but that's the goal here.
No deal.
Gem Smashers is on Switch. Kona is on Switch. Last Day of June is on Switch. That's in a multiple award-winning game, by the way. Story-based game. Neon Wall is on Switch. Plantera Deluxe got a demo on Switch. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse comes out on Switch March 20th. I believe that's the 3rd game in the Shantae series. Sparkle 3 Genesis is on Switch. Tesla versus Lovecraft is on Switch. Swim Out is on Switch. The Long Reach is on Switch. Torkel Physics Modified Edition has a demo on Switch. Vostok Inc. has a demo on Switch. And World Neverland. Oh boy. Let me try this again.
Mm-hmm.
World Neverland, which is all one word for some reason.
World Neverland.
Elnia Kingdom. That's on Switch. Hello, Timothy. I was talking about you earlier, Timothy. We brought up your tweet. Or I brought up your tweet, as I promised I would. So another very big week for Switch. Let's see if there's stuff in there that people actually want besides Kirby. First comment comes from Steel Diver, and he says, I'm getting Kirby and Attack on Titan. I'm buying the physical copies, though, because I don't believe in digital. Right. That's right. Steel Diver making his way back to the #1 comment position. It used to be his thing, and now he's back in it. All right, Europe's digital downloads. What did Europe get? Why is Europe's list always so long? Europe got Kirby Star Allies, The Last Day of June, Cluster Truck, Coffin Dodgers, Tesla versus Lovecraft, Danmaku Unlimited 3, which is a bullet hell shooter, and it's supposedly very excellent. I haven't had a chance to play for myself yet. Hello, Jumpman. Jumpman's another long-time GoNintendo reader. Spiral Splatter is on Switch. Gem Smashers. Aero Fighters 3. Bingo. Enchanting Mahjong Match. Neon Wall. Sparkle 3 Genesis. The Long Reach. World Neverland. Elnia Kingdom. Plantera Deluxe Demo. Torkoal Demo. Vostok Demo. Pick-a-Pix Deluxe has a whole bunch of DLC, as does World Neverland. You can pre-order games like Deep Ones and Metropolis Lux Obscura. Now, this game kind of interests me. I'm going to read you the description. The city is rotten to the core. You can't even tell night from day in this hell where big money runs everything. And the best way to prove you're right is with brute force. John Lockhart walked through the prison gates a free man after spending years imprisoned as the supposed murderer of an old friend. He returned once more to the city where it all started, intent on figuring out who was that framed him for the murder and make them pay in blood for the crime. It'd take some work with the key witness dead, but that just meant he'd have to flush out every rat from hiding. I thought this was going to explain what the game is. It's like a...
Yeah, it sounds like a movie plot synopsis.
Yeah, but it's played as a match 3.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like a story-based match 3 game, but I believe it's mature. Because like you go to like strip clubs and interview like
how does the blood come in?
Hookers and stuff. I don't know. Hello, Barry. Yeah, if you go check that out on the eShop page or go see the trailer. I always like games that mash up genres that don't usually go together, or you don't usually see together. Not that they don't go together.
Mm-hmm.
Like
match 3 and pornography.
My favorite genre is match 3 pornography. You know, what was that? Puzzle Quest.
Yeah.
RPG-ish and match 3 stuff. Combo, I don't know if I made that a top story, but I might have to check it out just to see your comment. You can still pre-order Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, as well as Toki Tori. And you can pre-order No Thing. It's No Thing, no space thing, all capital letters. The year is 1994, and it is the future. No Thing is a minimalistic, surreal action game set in a totalitarian regime of future. This tells the story of an office clerk who is sent with an important message to the Queen of Ice. Pre-order Opus Rocket of Whispers, Galgun 2, which is the craziest shooter yet. Helps swarms of girls escape their demon possessions by using your pheromone shot gadget for euphoric exorcisms. It's an Inti Creates game. It's the sequel to Galgun, where you did the same thing. You shoot girls and you see their underwear. The end. Special offers on a whole bunch of things. 3DS eShop got Witch End Hero 3. And I believe Circle said that's probably going to be their last 3DS game. As they're working on Switch. Oh, Mom Brain, if you were only here. Hello, Bella. 3DS theme shop in Europe got updated with Hello Kitty Hawaiian style. Hello Kitty in Hawaiian style, surrounded by flowers. That's what it says. Camouflage kitty. Kitty on a camouflage texture. Hello Kitty's playing with her friends theme. Hello Kitty is having fun playing with her friends. Find her. Hello Kitty, iconic among her bows theme. Hello Kitty is iconic, surrounded by her red bows. These descriptions are always so good. Oh, that's it for Hello Kitty. But we still have Jurassic Cubs. Jurassic Cubs run in the wood theme. Sorrow and Stego run along the path, but Stego is tired. That's the description of the theme. Roy likes spring theme. Roy is happy because the flowers bloom in the spring. Well, good for you, Roy. It's good to find something that makes you happy. Easter with Jurassic Cubs theme. Jurassic Cubs have fun with Easter. Scroll the touchscreen. Okay, all right. Wii U got Toon War, which is a twin-stick shooter game. And that's about it for Europe. So another big wave of content for Europe. Let's see. Who are you? Let's see somebody complain. First comment comes from Shillelagh, and Shillelagh says, nothing for me this week. I might be interested in Kirby Star Allies at some point, but its mixed reviews and its $60 price tag are a big turnoff, especially considering it's really easy and very short. Maybe when it's half price or less. I'll be talking about Kirby in the next portion of the show. But for now, we continue with news, and we're going to talk about Yooka-Laylee potentially getting a physical release on Switch. Hello, Blunners. So a lot of people poop on Yooka-Laylee, but besides that, there's a lot of other people who are like, I really want Yooka-Laylee on Switch, but I want a physical copy because, you know, there's people like Steel Diver who don't believe in digital. So they want to get a physical copy. Well, someone on Twitter tweeted Limited Run Games, who specializes in releasing physical copies of Switch game, or of games in general, but they are doing Switch games. But they do limited printings of them, so there's not too many to go around. But still, it's a physical release. So someone tweeted them and said, I hope Yooka-Laylee is on your list. There doesn't seem to be any interest in a physical release. And Limited Run Games did not say anything. But Super Rare Games, which is another company that does limited printings of Switch games, including Human Fall Flat, which we did the contest for last week, they tweeted back this person. They replied to them with a smiley face, and that's it. And the person responded and said, what are you trying to say here? And Super Rare Games replied that and said, fades away. So they're obviously teasing that they're going to be doing a physical release for Yooka-Laylee on Switch. And like I said, I know some people will be very happy to hear that. So nothing's official yet, but it's a very obvious and blatant tease. So if you've been holding out for a physical release, it seems like you're going to get your wish. And we will certainly let you know as soon as that's confirmed. Jumpman FR has the first comment, who's in the chat right now. And he says, they must be mistaken. This is not a rare game. And this is not a super game either. Super Rare Games handles all games, whether they're rare or good. It's not rare in two ways, because Rare didn't make it, but it is former Rare employees. There was a Nintendo. Oh, yeah. No, there wasn't a Nintendo Direct. Nintendo announced that there's going to be a Nindies showcase next week, which I'm super excited for, because I love Nindies stuff. I love seeing what indie developers are up to. And we've had a huge wave of indie games on the Switch, and now we're going to get to see the next big wave for spring 2018. So I'm sure we're going to get updates on games we already know about and reveals of games we didn't even know were coming to the platform. So this airs March 20th at 12 p.m. New Jersey time, 12 p.m. Or California time, 9 a.m. This is, again, on March 20th. They'll be showcasing the hottest upcoming indie games for the Switch. You can watch it at live.nintendo.com. So we just had a Nintendo Direct, and now we're having a Nintendo presentation for Nindies. Very exciting stuff. I honestly am very excited to see what they show. First comment comes from Almost Zen, and they say, fingers crossed for Switch exclusive indies. They are rare. I'm sure there will be a few of them in there. I wouldn't worry about that. Wouldn't it be nice if we got to see the next thing that Yacht Club is working on. Because I know they are still doing stuff for Shovel Knight, but they've said multiple times that they want to do something outside of releasing DLC for Shovel Knight. So maybe they've talked about the idea of Shovel Knight 64. They've also talked about the idea of doing something new altogether. But I would love to see what Yacht Club's up to. I would also love to see. There's a game that was announced at E3 last year. I don't remember the name of it, but it was like 2D and pixelated. I know that doesn't really help, but it was like very sci-fi and like Blade Runner-ish, and like it was visually striking, really cool looking.
Oh yeah, I know. I think I know the one you mean.
I think there was a guy and there was like shooting and stuff, and
yeah, what was that?
I want to say like Last is in the title somewhere. I don't know. If anybody could find out the name of that game based on what I said, that would be amazing. But yeah, I'm always down for any kind of indie stuff. I just like seeing what kind of games are being more traditional or just all out wacky stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. We have some indie news right now, and it's excellent indie news. It's a wonderful story that I'm very happy to share. The developer of Blossom Tales put the game out on Steam. Excuse me, and nobody really played it. And FDG Entertainment stepped in as a publisher. They were like, hey, let's get this game on Switch, because Blossom Tales is very much like a traditional Zelda. They're like, this is something Nintendo fans should like. So the port was done. They put it out on Switch. And we heard early on it was doing very well for the company, for the publisher and the developer. But now we have some awesome news. They say that Blossom Tales on Switch, in just 3 months, revenue has surpassed the Steam's lifetime sales over 20 times. So 3 months of sales on Switch has outdone what the game sold in its entire lifespan on Steam 20 times over, which is crazy. And this has secured the developer's future. The developer said now we actually have money to continue making other games. So they were very excited about that. So it's just a really cool story all around. Hello, Bjorn. So good to you guys who picked up this game. We keep hearing stories over and over again about how so many developers are seeing success on the Switch eShop and how their games are selling phenomenally well. I think this week alone there were 5 different developers that talked about how great their games are doing on Switch. And it shows that Switch owners, even a year after the system is out, have been continuing to look at new and original and just strange and weird and even traditional type of games. But they're looking at everything that's on the eShop and they're willing to pick it up. Game Freak 613 says, it's on my to-buy list. Well, when you do buy it, I hope you enjoy. Hello, Manticoris. What Steam game did Switch sell well enough to save the studio? I was talking about Blossom Tales, if you just popped in, Manticoris. Hello, Johnny. Yeah, as Johnny points out, as time goes on, more and more games are going to be on the Switch eShop, and it's going to be harder to find them, and visibility on the shop is going to be tougher, so we might see games not doing as well. That's going to happen on any, you got it, sir. That's going to happen on any shop without a doubt. But there's I would probably say there's at least or over 400 games on a Switch eShop right now, which is a lot to sift through. So people are still hanging in there and checking out what's new, which is really cool. I did make it a top story. So, Sega had a panel for Sonic at South by Southwest, as they usually do, and they show off some things coming up for Sonic, and we knew things were teased and blah, 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 blah. But now we saw the panel, and we know what's up. And this one will make Steel Diver happy again, because Sega has announced that Sonic Mania is getting a retail release on Xbox One, PS4, and Switch. So if you want a game card with Sonic Mania on it, you can get it. But there's more to it than that. It's called Sonic Mania Plus. Sonic Mania Plus is a retail package with brand new content. It includes playable versions of Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, 2 classic Sonic characters that haven't been seen in a billion years.
I've never even heard of them.
I never played as them, but I want to say they're from like Knuckles Chaotix. Let's say that.
Okay.
I'm sure I'll be wrong, and cue the
the
anger. 32X.
32X, okay.
Which I've never played. Encore mode has visual changes and new ways to explore each act, and they've expanded online and competition mode, which now allows for 4 players. The package also comes with a holographic slip cover and a reversible Genesis-branded sleeve for the box, so you can make the game box look like a Genesis box, although later generation Genesis games, so the red bar on the side that said Genesis, not the original ones that had like the grid pattern in the background and said Genesis on the bottom of the box. It also includes a 32-page art book, and you get all this content for $30. It's due out this summer. Also, on top of all that, what if you have the digital game and you want to play the new content, but you don't want to have to buy the physical game? Sega said you'll get all the updated content that makes it Sonic Mania Plus through a digital update. And that is going to be a paid update, but it's not going to be $30. So whatever price it may be, they'll talk about later, but obviously it's going to be less than $30 rather than more. So that's very cool to see. They also announced that Sonic Mania Adventures is coming to YouTube. And it's a series, I forget if they said 5 or 6 animated shorts that are all done in the style of the intro to Sonic Mania. So the same guy who did the intro for Sonic Mania is doing 5 short cartoons for YouTube, and they're going to release one each month starting, I don't know when. But that animation is beautiful. And one of the best parts about it is Sonic's not going to talk. Nobody's going to talk. It's going to be classic style Sonic, no talking. That artwork is gorgeous. And they showed like a 15-second teaser of it. It looks great. Tanuki Mike says, glad I waited. I knew it would come. Well, you hung in there and now you're getting your wish. And Majipsy says, give us Amy, you cowards. Do people really want playable Amy? Do people like Amy? Sonic doesn't even like Amy. Oh, what we got here? Yeah, this is the story I thought you were going to tell me earlier. This is about Pokemon Go. So, yes, millions of people are still playing Pokemon Go. And these 2 guys, hello, Jefferson. These 2 guys were playing Pokemon Go, minding their own business, having some fun, going out to capture a gym. And they did just that. But little did they know that the person who had the gym previously was also in the area. And he happened to be in his car in a parking lot. And he was very mad that his gym had gotten taken away from him. So what does he do? He gets out of his car, and he knows the person that took the gym. He knows their name is Alex because they're... Was it Alex? Doesn't matter. Does. Andy.
Okay.
Because the guy's name in the game was Andy Samberg, but it's not the real Andy Samberg.
So he's like yelling, Andy
Yeah,
Samberg.
yeah, he was out there, and he's like, who's Andy? Where's Andy? And the 2 guys were sitting there, and the one guy was like, oh, I'm Andy. And he's like, that wasn't very nice what you did with my gym. The guy's like, it's a game. So what does the guy do? He gets a tire iron out of his car and starts like hitting a table with it, and then is going to attack these 2 people with it. There's a bit of a scuffle. The crazy guy with the tire iron hit the other person, but not with the tire iron. He hit him with like a couple punches, closed fist punches, which the guy said is much better than getting hit with the tire iron. But then after that, they managed to like tackle him to the ground, and they called the cops and all that stuff. So the guy got taken to the police station, and apparently he has a history of mental health issues. So that would explain some of the circumstances here. And he's been charged with assault and malicious mischief. If you go to the story for this on GoNintendo, you can see a video from the local news station that did it. So you can see the 2 people that were attacked, and a very grainy look at the assailant. But just the whole news report has like the very like low budget local news feeling to it. It makes it that much better. And the guy doing the guy hosting the piece has no idea what he's talking about, which makes it much funnier. So go check that out if you haven't. But yes, everybody's safe now. So if you're out there still playing Pokemon Go, make sure you're safe. if you're going to battle in a gym, you might end up in a battle in real life. I'm just putting that out there. Joshua 220 says he needs to Pokemon go to the psychiatrist. Did it. Got him. Nailed it. All right. Nose is so stuffy. That's it. We're done. Kirby, what have you been playing?
Same stuff as last week.
Anything you want to talk about? You don't have to.
Not really. What did I just do in Breath of the Wild? Oh, well, I forgot to mention last week I finally got furniture for my house.
Oh, very nice. What'd you get?
Well, it's just the, once you buy like enough weapon displays, they'll just like automatically like give you furniture.
Yes.
But I'm assuming there's like are there other places in the game where you can buy a house, or is it just in that one village?
I don't remember. I think that one might be it.
Oh, okay.
I know there's another village
I was wondering if it's like Skyrim where you can buy.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay.
But I might be wrong. I know there's another village that you have to help build.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I didn't do much with the like. I just did a couple things in that one house just because I liked seeing what's his name, Bolton.
Is that his name? Yeah, the elderly gay man.
Yes, whatever his name is. God, I love that guy. He's like Christopher Mull, right? That was the guy's name. The guy who used to have that that show on TLC. The gay guy that did like he had a TV show and he did like it was like a Martha Stewart, but more towards like fixing up furniture and like dressers and making things look nice and decorating them and stuff. Danielle, Mom Brain loved him. Loved that guy.
I'm not sure if I remember it.
Oh, I have to show him to you. I think that's his name.
Was he like a comedian? Or
no, I don't think so.
Okay.
Christopher. I think it was Lowell. Christopher Lowell.
Christopher Lulls.
That's why he was a comedian. Lowell? There he is. Christopher Lowell. His interior motives with Christopher Lowell. The guy was so funny.
So you think Bolton is based on him?
I really do,
Okay.
yeah. They do like the same kind of thing. Apparently they spoofed him on Saturday Night Live. I didn't know that. When I saw the character, I was like, that's him.
Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah.
There you go. For those watching, now you can see him.
I can kind of see it, actually.
Yeah, right? And they do the same kind of thing. And I got this picture.
I figured it was Chris
Kattan doing the character. Take some time and look up this guy if you haven't. Lowell, Lowell. But anyway, you were furnishing your house.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the last like major thing I did. I've just been getting more shrines and visiting the fairy fountains and improving my outfits and stuff.
That's how it goes.
And that's basically it.
All right. What did I? All right. So I know I got one thing I want to talk about specifically. I'll save that for a second. I played Kirby Star Allies last night, and I beat the first world, and I beat the second level of the first level of the second world. And here's the thing: I do like the game, and I am excited to play it more today. But I have this thing when I play games where I hate having people with me in the game. Okay. Like, I hate having characters walk around with you. I'm like, I'm the hero. I want to do it. Get away. Everybody get away. So it's hard for me to shake that feeling because that's what this game is about. But, hello, Angelo. I will say that I do like what the characters do, and they have been helpful, and I like some of the things that they add into the game. Like what I was talking about earlier. You press up on the control pad or the joystick, and Kirby makes like a heart above his head, and any of your partners will come in and imbue your weapon with an ability as long as they can do it. So like I said, if you have a sword and there's a fire guy on your team, they can give you a fire sword, which makes it more powerful, do more damage, and obviously you can light wicks with it where you couldn't do that before. I don't hate co-op. No, I love playing with a regular person or regular people. I'm talking about...
It's when it's computer controlled.
Yes, when it's computer control. I guess I should have specified that. Yeah, when the computer's in there. Now, I don't mind it in an RPG because... Why don't I don't know. I just feel like RPGs are about a party of people banding together to save the world, whereas Kirby games have been about Kirby saving the world. And I'm like, I don't want these other assholes in here.
Not even Rick the hamster.
Well, it's funny you say that because I was playing last night and I got the broom ability.
Oh.
Which lets you sweep away things and also hit enemies. But if you double tap a direction to run and then hit the attack button, Rick the cat comes out and you like ride him to clear out a portion of this. So I was like, oh, it's nice to see him. Hello, Laxter. I don't dislike RPGs. No, it's just I guess that's my thing. Like when it comes to games that are established franchises. When they're like, hey, here's a new game and there's other characters with you this time. I'm like, no, that's not why I like this game. I just don't like the feeling of being grouped with other characters because I want to do it myself. Like there'll be times in Star Allies where an enemy hits somebody else and kills them. And I'm like, come on, man, that's what I want to do. That's why I'm playing. But they are helpful. And you need them to get in certain doors for bonuses and stuff like that. So I don't dislike it. It's just, a weird thing in my own brain. I don't knock the game for it. But, yeah, I am enjoying the game a lot. I'm having fun. It's Kirby, It always amuses me that when Kirby games come out, there's reviews that are like, this game's too easy. I'm like, how many Kirby games do reviewers have to play before we realize that Kirby games are supposed to be easy? That's the whole point of Kirby games.
They're for little boys.
But later on, you get to unlock stuff that's super, that really supersizes the challenge. You can add in a whole bunch of really challenging stuff for people that want to do that. But yeah, I feel like saying Kirby games are too easy is like saying Call of Duty has too much shooting. Mm-hmm. Like it just doesn't make sense to me. That's the point of Kirby games. Now, like you can look at something like Kirby, oh god damn it, Kirby's Epic Yarn, which was even easier on purpose for the type of game it was. Now that I understand people saying like they went out of their way to make this easy because deaths don't really count in that game. They don't matter. So I understand that. But Kirby games in general are easy. There's no... Like, they never made a Kirby game that's, like, all-out challenging. And like, there's no Dark Souls Kirby game. That's not the point of Kirby. There's been spin-off Kirby games that provide challenge in all different ways. But the point of mainline Kirby games is to be, like, open, easy, simple platformers. So, hello, Blunders and Swedish Galaxy. But, yeah, I am enjoying it. And... I've always liked Kirby games. I need to go through more levels, obviously, to see how I feel about the game overall. But the one for me to beat is Kirby's Return to Dreamland because I don't know. Just the level design and the music and the flow of the levels, everything in that game just really clicked for me. I really liked it. Like, I was seriously impressed with that Kirby game. But I'm always... I've been a Kirby game... Hello, Al's Gaming Stuff. I've been a Kirby fan since the Game Boy game. So... I'm enjoying this Kirby, and it's pretty much what I expected. I like my Kirby mainline games to be mainline Kirby games, and I like my spin-offs to do all the weird stuff. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'd buy that for $1, says Mass Attack was the hardest Kirby game. Mass Attack definitely had some challenge to it, I would agree. So I played some of that, and that was just last night. But I spent the majority of the week playing... I spent the majority of the week starting, playing through, and finishing Night in the Woods on Switch. Now, Night in the Woods is a game I've been wanting to play since before it came out. Like, I saw the Kickstarter for it, and I was like, ooh, this looks like something different. This looks really interesting to me. So I just never had the time, didn't get around to playing it, and then it came out on Switch, and I was like, this is my shot. Now's the time to jump in. Plus, it has all the bonus content that was released for other versions. So I played it. I did a video review of it. It's one of the best experiences I've ever had in a video game. It is something else. I said in my review that it has the best writing I've ever seen in a video game by a lot. And I'm not saying like this writing is really good for a video game. I just think the writing is good in general. It blew me away. The way characters are written and the way the story is told just is so well done. And that's important because this is basically a visual novel, although you move a character around and you like run and jump on stuff and there's platforming aspects to it. But again, like I said in the review, that's not the point of the game. I wouldn't call it a platformer at all. It's a visual novel, but you have more movement over your character than you do in most visual novels, because most of them you just do menu selections for text and stuff like that. So the story here is you are a cat girl, and she's home from them being animals has nothing to do with the game, by the way. But you're this cat, and you come home from college, and at first you don't know why the character's home from college. This is the character you're playing and stuff. And you're coming home to your hometown, and you're visiting your parents and hanging out and seeing what's up with friends and stuff like that. And it's about just seeing how things have changed since you've been away at college, because I think you've been there for 2 years. I think that's what it was, or close to 2 years. And you come home for reasons which I will not talk about because you got to play the game to find out. And there's so many things I would like to talk to you about, but it spoils the experience. The whole game is story, so there's things I don't want to say them because it ruins it. But yeah, you hang out with friends and you check out the town and see how everybody's doing. And it's very hard to make the game sound like interesting and exciting and engaging. But hello, Cowboy, it really is. It's so hard to put into words. It's just one of those games that it's one of those experiences that gives you that like empty feeling in your stomach, or like I struggle to put it into words because it is so. I found it to be meaningful of an experience. It's something else. It's not going to be a game for everybody because I know a lot of people aren't into visual novels and they're going to be like, this game is boring, because all you really do is talk to people and you have dialogue choices, obviously, and you have lots of decisions to make. And it's not like, will this person live or die? Make this decision. It's not like a Telltale game. It's like, you want to hang out with this person this day, or do you want to hang out with this person? Do you want to go do something with that person? Because if you do that, you might not get to hang out with this person, or you might miss a story somewhere along the way. And the choices you make will impact how the game moves, and also the ending as well. It'll impact like who you see and how things wrap up and stuff like that. So, hello, Angelo. I don't. Yeah, it's very tough to describe, but it's very heartwarming and heart-wrenching and meaningful and endearing and engaging and really makes you think and really sticks with you. And the soundtrack is fantastic. I listen to the soundtrack while I work. It's like overall, I think it's like a 3.5-hour soundtrack when you listen to everything. Soundtrack is fantastic, and all the main character and her friends, her 3 friends, all are in like a pseudo band. They don't really like go around and play at like different locations, but they all get together and write songs and play for themselves. They have a band that's only for band practice. They never go play anywhere else, but they like playing music, so that's what they're doing. And the music is played by you in like a little music mini game. There's a note highway and buttons come down and you hit them. And the songs that you play in the band are awesome. They're really good. And they get like little music videos as you play them, showing you what everybody in the band is doing. And there's like flashing lights and words and like certain scenes that show up and stuff like that. It's very cool. It's very, very cool. And again, if you're on the fence because you don't usually play games like that, watch some trailers. Because, you know, for me, it was a 10-hour experience. And most visual novels, I would say, are 2 to 4 hours. So it's not like a quick run through anything like that. And yes, the large majority of the time, you're just reading dialogue. But I don't mean that as a negative. Like, that's the point of the game is to tell a story. And it tells a wonderful one. All kinds of twists and turns and all kinds of just dialogue that'll really hit you hard, and characters and things that happen. It's great. It's great. And I tried to do absolutely everything I could in the game. But I know based on my decisions, I missed scenes with certain characters and I missed options for certain things. And I want to see those. I want to see everything because I want to spend more time with those characters. If you want to hear me ramble on about it more, you can check out the review. I do a somewhat better job there. But yeah, that's what I spent my week playing. And I definitely am very happy I did because it was well worth my time. One of the most impactful gaming experiences I've had in my probably 28 years of playing video games, if not more than that. So yeah, as long as you're down with visual novels, highly, highly, highly recommended. Very good stuff. That's it. Oh, no, that's not it. I'll do a question.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have Mom Brain today, so we can't do music, but we can do a question. Send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. That's GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. Okay, sorry, it's hard for me to think of that. Hello, Zach. Hello, Fred. Do film adaptations of books count as visual novels? I don't know. We need to look up what the official definition of visual novel is. Is there one? Pratt Trap says, what is your least favorite Tetris block? I've never been a fan of the T-shape. No, I love the T-shape. It's not my favorite, but I do love the T-shape. I hate the S or the Z. Either one. Either one is my most hated piece. They never come. It's never the one I need. And I never have anywhere to put them that makes sense. And the T is both of those combined pretty much. So the T is great because I can flip it and use it on either side. But the S or the Z, no, it's always the wrong one. I hate it.
Do you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
It's funny. Pratt Trap says, also, did you know that you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com? I did know that. Yeah, S and Z gets my vote. What's your vote for worst Tetramino? You have the I, the square.
Well, I might be my favorite.
I's my favorite. Come on. It's the only one that gets you a Tetris. That could not be your favorite.
Yeah.
The I, the square, the S, the Z, the L, and the other L. The backwards L. And the...
Which one's the Z? I need like a chart.
Let's look them up. Tetramino shapes. Boy, this is bringing back bad memories. There we go. Here are your Tetris shapes.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to go with S or Z.
Yeah. S and Z are terrible. Here you go, everybody.
They really are.
S and Z are garbage.
Just get them out of there.
Jumpman says, I hate the eye block. Just kidding. Yeah, nobody hates the eye block. Alwell says, for me too, S and Z. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, we should take somebody like taking a poll.
That's it. I'm doing it on GoNintendo later today. Least favorite Tetris block. We'll do one more question just because we got time. Thank you for that question, Pratt Trap. Taylor says, hey, RMC, huge fan from Brazil since 2005. Delivering this question directly to you. What would be your dream AAA game for Switch's next holiday season? Congrats for the best work on the web when it comes to all things Nintendo. Well, thank you, sir. Well, I would have said my dream game for 2018 for Switch was Smash Brothers, but we're getting that now in 2018. So, I don't think we're getting Metroid Prime 4 this year. But if I'm being greedy, I would love to get that. I would love Beyond Good and Evil 2 on Switch in 2018. We don't even know if it's coming to Switch. It's probably not. But that's another one. I consider that AAA because I love that franchise so much. Franchise of one game. What else is AAA? Another one that I would say is Mega Man, and we're getting that too. I love Mega Man, and it's actually happening. So, I mean, to be completely honest, my dreams have been fulfilled or will be fulfilled later this year. Mega Man, Smash Brothers. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. I'm just happy for what we get rather than like, oh, I wish this would come. I only have a few like wishes, but I don't know that I'd call them AAA. So, trying to think of like what other AAA franchises there are that would actually have a shot at releasing on Nintendo platforms, because there's AAA games that would never come. Like, you know, God of War isn't going to come to the Switch, but I'm excited about that game. AAA. No, I'm going to stay with what I got. I'm perfectly happy with that. I'd buy that for $1. Says new F-Zero. Well, a lot of people would be really excited for that, but I don't know what Nintendo's going to do with the F-Zero franchise. They've just been letting it do nothing since what, F-Zero GX on GameCube? Nothing going on? Were the GBA ones after or before that? I don't remember. You got your new F-Zero. It was in Nintendo Land. That little mini game. Yeah. That's all you get. I'm sorry. That's all you get. And you get Smash Brothers stages from F-Zero. And Captain Falcon. There you go. You get Captain Falcon too. Yeah, that's it. Is there anything AAA you would like to see on the Switch, or everything covered?
No, I think you covered everything.
Honey Pop 2, that's AAA. Bring that to the Switch.
Oh, that's AAA. No, it's triple TNA.
It's triple D. Yeah, that's all right. So send your questions to GoNintendoQuestions@gmail.com. Also, no music this week, obviously, but send your music submissions for trivia to gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. That is gnpodcastmusic@gmail.com. All right, that's a show. We did it. We're done. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching and listening. Hope you had a fantastic week so far, and thanks for taking some time to spend your weekend with us. And we'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
All right, after show, let's chat. What's on your mind? What you been thinking about? What you been playing? What you been doing? Here's what I've been thinking about. Wrestlemania 35 was announced for New Jersey. It's coming to Jersey, baby. So not this year's Wrestlemania, the year after. We went to the one that was in Jersey at the MetLife Stadium back in 2013, I think it was. Maybe it was 2014. And now it's coming back, so I'm super excited. I saw the news. Well, I knew it was happening. But just to see the article on NJ.com as like the top story made me so happy. Mega says, are you excited for WrestleMania this year? Yes, I am. Yes, hopefully you're right. Trap says, hopefully Roman Reigns will not headline the next WrestleMania. I hope so. Yeah, I'm excited for this year's WrestleMania. I want to see how Ronda Rousey does. I'm excited to see like her in-ring debut and see how that goes. I am excited for, believe it or not, I'm excited for John Cena's story. I've been really entertained by the whole John Cena like redemption story. I love the idea of him playing the character of like being the, not old, but the older guy on the roster over at WWE and kind of like losing step with everybody because he's been out filming movies and stuff like that, and thinking he'd be able to secure a spot in WrestleMania and losing out on those chances, and you know, having nothing to do at WrestleMania, so just challenging The Undertaker. I like the story. Like, it may have been a little predictable, but I just liked the fact that it wasn't like, we'll make people think John Cena can't win anymore, and then he'll win a spot at WrestleMania. They just made him keep losing. So I appreciate that. And John, I think, is one of the best on the mic in WWE, so it's always entertaining to hear what he has to say. He's good thinking off the top of his head. So yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm trying to think of other matches that are officially locked in for Mania, and there's not too many. The women's battle royale, I'm excited for that. I want to see what Rusev does. I hope Rusev gets a big match at WrestleMania, and he's so over right now. A few years ago, when he was popular, he got that entrance at WrestleMania where he drove in on a tank, and it was amazing. And I really want him to do that again. I want a whole procession. God, he's just so popular, and the WrestleMania crowd is going to be full of smarks, so they'd be totally into it. I'm really hoping he has something to do at WrestleMania. Oh yeah, Shinsuke versus AJ at WrestleMania. Yes, obviously I'm excited. That's a dream match. Those two haven't wrestled in forever. So I'm excited to see those two really go at it, because that's exactly what they're going to do. They work really well together, and they know it's WrestleMania. They're obviously going to go all out. I feel like AJ, in particular, goes all out with every single match he does. He really goes over the top. He really throws himself around. He's amazing. So I can't imagine this is going to be like his first real big, high-profile match at WrestleMania. Like, I know he wrestled Jericho, and that was a big match, but this is on a whole different level. He's the champ, and it's going to be towards the end of the card, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, there's still a whole bunch of other matches we don't know about. I want to see what the I want to see what the New Day is going to do at WrestleMania, because they're always fun. Who else am I excited for? I want to see what happens with what they're doing with the bar, because I want to see if they're going to mash together a tag team of two people that didn't exist before and just make them a tag team to fight the bar at WrestleMania, or if they're really going to let Braun do a 2-on-1 tag team match for WrestleMania, because I think that's just a fun kind of throwaway match, so I'd be down for that too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm always excited for anything wrestling. And even when there's times in wrestling where the storylines aren't so great, I can still appreciate the actual wrestling of it. So again, in most things in life, I'm easy to please. So this year in particular, at least in the last few months, has been pretty good as far as Raw is concerned. SmackDown to a lesser degree, but I still enjoy it. I just like watching them do what they do in the ring. So I'm excited. All right, I can talk about wrestling all day. That's the end, though. Yeah, I should have dedicated this show to Toys R Us. You're right. Rest in peace, Toys R Us. That's all we got, my friends. Now, you go enjoy the rest of your weekend and play some games. I'm sure some of you are playing Kirby, and some of you are just playing a whole bunch of stuff in general, or relaxing, or whatever you're doing. You've earned it. Take a break, and we'll catch you next week. Goodbye, everybody.